he looked.
Yes.
And so when I show people and speak of it, they say, wow, this was his report. How could that be? I say, yeah, it could be. Like we said, all things are possible
All
to
things.
God.
There's nothing impossible with
No,
God.
no,
Absolutely
no,
nothing.
no, no. And all my testimonies are big like this. I mean,
Share another one.
oh, please. I'll share one when my mom,
Okay.
she lived to 93. Perfect health. She was a healthy, beautiful woman. And suddenly she fell one day and took her to the hospital and was diagnosed as a massive, um, the doctor had said it's when you have bleeding in the brain, she had a massive heart attack and a cerebral hemorrhage,
Okay.
which I never knew what it meant till he explained. And so she was in the hospital, and I called my pastor, the church I was attending at the time, and he came to pray. And she was in intensive care, and she was supposed to be dying. The hospital called me and said, come quickly. She threw up her feces, and it's a matter of minutes. And I said, I'll get there as soon as I can. She was in Good Sam. I lived in Copiague, and I just flew there. I don't even remember getting there. And my daughter Grace met me. Like I said earlier, she had been married at the time. And the pastor came, and the nurse said, just say so long to her, and she's unconscious, she's in a coma, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh my God, I feel so bad. And the pastor said 2 words, well, we got the Lord, we're trusting you, Lord, and we're believing in a healing. And so the nurse said, you're not leaving, are you? I said, oh, I don't want to see my mother expire. I'm going home. I said, you call me. I'll be home in half hour. And so I went home, and the phone never rang. And here it's 7 o'clock at night, and I said, well, it's visiting hours. Let's see what happened here. And so I go over to the nurse's desk, and she says to me, no, I went to the room, and my mom wasn't there. So I says to the nurse, she passed away, you never called me? I said, I've been home all day, you can't say the phone rang, and I didn't answer it. So she said, no, I couldn't call you. She said, I'm very nervous. What a weird thing happened when you left. I said, weird? So she said, yes. She said she picked up her head, and she says all the machines went crazy. Whoever was here, we all ran in the room, and she was fine. So she's now in the Baxter Pavilion around the corner. So I ran in the Baxter Pavilion. In fact, she had lost all her hair. And she's sitting up in bed, so beautiful. And she says to me, what am I doing here? Why am I here? So I said, oh, I didn't want to tell her what had taken place. I said, Ma, you weren't feeling well, and we took you to the hospital. She says, get me dressed and get me out of here. She snapped out of that coma, and I took her home, and she passed away a year later. So in the interim of that, I took her to church, and the pastor just looked. He said, Mama, is that you? Come on up here and let's tell the people what took place to encourage them.
Yeah.
And so that's what had happened. But the following year, when she passed away, was very bad timing for me. The business wasn't doing well. Years ago, it seemed like the weather was colder, more snowy. We had no heat in the house. I couldn't even afford to call the oil man. And people who don't understand would say to me, oh, your gauge must be broken, that's why it's reading empty. I said, okay, let's say the gauge is broken, but where's the heat?
Where's the heat?
Okay? I mean, where's the oil?
Yes.
And so she passed away, and the hospital called me. I went to the funeral parlor to make arrangements, and my husband says to me, I don't know how you're going to work this out. Where are you going to get this money for a funeral? I said, look, my mother just passed away. I want to be left alone. I don't need anything else on my mind right now. I'm just going the way I was told to go, and we'll see what will take place. And so we picked out the coffin and whatever had to be done, and the director said to me, okay, your bill will be $3,000. And I just looked over very calmly. I said, fine. He said, the money must be here tomorrow, when you come view the body. I said, you will have it. So now I go home, okay? And they're all looking at me. I had my niece, my daughter, my husband. I had people over the house, and they said, tomorrow, Rose, what are you going to tell the man, the director? I said, I don't know right now what I'm going to say, but it's going to work out. And now it's 11 o'clock the next morning. I'm in the shower, and I'm saying, Lord, don't shame me, please. What am I going to tell? You have to pay the funeral. What am I going to tell the director? And the Lord spoke.
Okay.
He said, "Do you call the